Gather up your projects, settle in your favorite spot. It's time to stitch with Sarah at her stitchy Camelot. Let's celebrate each other, this community we've got. It's time to get down to Sarah's stitchy spot.
Hello everyone, my name is Sarah. Welcome to my FlossTube channel, where we will discuss and celebrate all things cross-stitch. Grab your favorite beverage, get comfortable, and join me
at Sarah's stitchy spot.
Hi, I'm Sarah, and this is FlossTube number 53. It is Wednesday, July the 17th, 2024. I would like to take this moment to wish each and every one of you to my FlossTube channel. As I say at the beginning of every video, I send love, hugs, and kisses to my husband Stan for writing and performing the intro song that you just heard. If you are new to my FlossTube channel, I hope you will like what you see and that you will subscribe, ring the bell, share, like, and do all the things that we do on FlossTube. And for all of you that are returning, thank you. And it's a big thank you today because today is my second year on FlossTube. It is my second FlossTube anniversary. And wow, what an addition to my life you all have been. I don't have words. You have loved me, supported me, encouraged me, pushed me, been there for me when I needed you. I cannot thank you enough, and I know that there are a lot of FlossTubes to watch, and I am so touched for those of you that keep coming back and those of you that are new that find me. I hope you'll stay. So happy 2 years, woohoo! I have a lot of stuff to go over today. But the first thing I do want to let you guys know, Eva did have an appointment. So this is the second appointment since I filmed last, and the cervix is remaining stable. So the hope of her maternal fetal specialist are, if we can get to 28 weeks, that's what we want. That's the magic number, is 28 weeks. I think Eva is becoming more and more hopeful. And I want to thank you personally for all your prayers and your good thoughts and your good vibes and your well wishes. When we left the Bay Area before I made the last FlossTube, David was there with Stan and I as we were getting in the car, and I told him that you were all there for them. And I think it really meant a lot to him. So we, as Eva says, we keep our fingers crossed. We keep hope, and we'll go from there. So that's the good news on Eva's pregnancy. I had two things that I wanted to talk about from comments. One was I want to give a big thank you to Dee. Dee has had my back, as many of you have, on things that I miss on my finished stitches. And just to go to that much trouble, she took a screenshot, I guess, of my Strawberry Fills Forever. She showed me exactly where the areas were that I left out. I completed them, and so it really is a fully finished now. And Dee, thank you. There are many of you that notice these things and let me know. Please never stop, because I just have this way of, I don't know what would we call it, a cross-stitch blindness. I don't know, but I get to points where I move around so much that I forget things. So as Dee called it, it was proof stitching. So she's my proof stitch. So thank you, and please continue to do that. The second thing is, I'm going to show this now. I hope I can get it in the screen, but someone asked about stitching from a paper pattern. I wanted to let you guys know, I almost do not stitch at all from paper patterns. I either use, I have Pandemic on Pattern Keeper on a Kindle. I have several things, including Katerina, Adriana Lewinson, Vince's Stocking. I have those on Markup XP, and then otherwise I use GoodNotes. And the way I generally use GoodNotes is by taking pictures of the pages, and then I put them in there, and I can blow it up. GoodNotes is an incredibly wonderful app, and I would say that I use it about 95% of the time. But the specific question was about stitching from a paper pattern, and I did that for many, many years prior. So some of the things that I used are, I had purchased a, this was called Mind Reader. It is a lap tray, and if I purchased it, I'm sure I got it from Amazon, and it has a little lip that came down right here. There we go. That you could prop something on. And the thing that I propped on it was this. How many years have I had this? You know, the Loran metal, and this is the biggest one. And this is where I would store needle minders, because I stitch in hand, I don't tend to use them. So, and then I had many of these magnets, and I would keep those underneath the line that I was working on and move it down as I cross things off. So this is what I used for a long time. So this is the lower, and I'm pretty sure they still make them. So I would prop that up on the lap tray and then use that with my paper pattern that I usually almost always make a working copy of. Then some of this I still did. There was a smaller, like 8.5 by 11 Loran and metal board that I would prop up on this. This was a piece that I bought from R&R Woodworking. I'll put it down below. Woodworking, Kentucky. Incredible woodworking that he does. And so I use this. It has a place, a magnet here that will hold the needle or scissors. And sometimes I would use this with the 8.5 by 11 Loran and magnetize my pieces on top of that. And then I could also prop up an iPad on this when I went to GoodNotes. So this is what I use. So I hope that answers your question about, it was Isabel that asked about how I would use a paper copy. So I'm going to get this out of the way because these pieces were really large, and you know I need room for 2 laundry baskets. So I'll be right back. Hi, this is going to be a big surprise. I am filming this after I filmed everything, and if you watch the whole video before, I mean, you will. If you watch the video till the end, you'll see what's going on. And I'm going to find an appropriate place to insert this into the video closer to the beginning, because it's my shares, and I have several, and they're beautiful, and I don't want to miss them. So this is just going to be a video of the shares, and I'll stick it in. It probably won't have a lot of context, but just kind of being there. So so here we go. All right, my first one is from Susan, and this was a PDF from the Primitive Hair. She stitched this on a 20 count opalescent Aida with the called for DMC, and it's her first fully finished ornament, and she used the tutorial from Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. So there is some inspiration for ornament finishing. My next one is Deborah, and Deborah has a couple, and the first one is Let's Talk Chalk Quilting, and it's by Hands On Design. She stitched this on a 32 count Murano that she self-dyed for a chalkboard look. She used DMC threads, 1/2, to give it that faint chalky look. And this was quilted for one of her dear friends that loves quilting. This was stitched for one of her dear friends that loves quilting. And then the second piece is Gather with Joy by the Blue Flower. She stitched this on 36 count Bedrock by Bestitch Me, all with DMC. So this is Deborah, Shingle Spring Stitcher on Instagram. And thank you, Deborah, for sending those. The next one is by Bernadette, and this is Christmas Rose by Blackbird Designs. And I think partly seeing this inspired and pushed me to finish my mother's. And so she stitched this in 2023 to honor what would have been her mother's 100th birthday. So thank you, Bernadette, for sending that in. The next one is by Pat, and Pat sent in When Life is Done by Silver Creek Samplers. She stitched this on a 14 count white chocolate Aida with DMC floss. She stitched this for her mother, and I thought this was a very sweet, unselfish little touch. Instead of putting her mother's initials on the headstone, she put Mom. And her thought was that if someone ended up buying it in Goodwill, or at a thrift store or a charity store, that it would be universal. And Pat, I thought that was a lovely sentiment. So thank you for sending that in. And then the next one is from Tammy. And Tammy had a finish of Beautiful Things by Lindy Stitches. She stitched this on a 36 count mocha with mostly DMC and floss from her stash. And she pinned and laced this, and it fits in an 11 by 14 frame. So you can imagine how excited I was to hear that, because I have also finished this piece for my oldest daughter, Diane. And knowing that it will fit in an 11 by 14, it may be the next piece that I try to get laced and ready to gift to my oldest daughter. So thank you, Tammy, for the inspiration and again, and for letting me know that there's things that I can do and use, so I appreciate it. The last one is from Tessa, and it is Parade of Elephants by Hello from Liz Matthews. And I want you to look closely. Let me give you the fabric and stuff first, but it's on 16 count off-white Aida, and she personalized it for a friend's son. She used called for DMC. Now, as you look at the picture, you will see that there's two stuffed elephants above the framed piece. And the elephant on the left, she made from an old pair of her zoo pants, her work pants, because she was a zookeeper. And at times she did work with the elephants. How cool is that? That's just brilliant. So, so those are the shares today. And I love to hear the little stories and things that make them meaningful, especially to the people that stitch them. I love for you guys to hear the stories and see the inspiration in others stitching. So again, this is just going to be inserted somewhere, I hope as appropriately as I can, into the video. So thank you, and again, thank you all for sending these pieces in for me to share with all of you. Okay, bye-bye. Okay, now the next thing I wanted to do is I selected a new winner for Miss Hazel that, as many of you know, Laureen has offered to mail to the winner. And I wanted to give you that new winner, and I'll put it down below. And it is Fiona McCartney 7012, and I'll put that down below. So Fiona, you have won Miss Hazel, one of the animal crackers by Stacy Nash. And if you will get in touch with me with your address, I will forward that to Laureen, and she will get that into the mail for you. And then the next, it's not a giveaway, but we're going to try to get this first Zoom call organized. So I wanted to let you guys know I am going to put a link in the drop down box below, which is that arrow that will drop down below the video where it has the information that I put in it. There is going to be a Google form. Eva kindly designed that, put it together for me so that I can get your name and your email, because I will need to send you invitations for the Zoom call. I am planning the first one to be July 28th, which is a Sunday. I want to verify that. Yes, July 28th, which is a Sunday. And I'm going to do it at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I particularly chose that time because it seems to work well for the group Stitch Chat Across the Pond, so that it would be inclusive of people that, on the East Coast, in other countries. And so that's going to be our first one. I will have all this information down below, but that will be July 28th, starting at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're going to set it up for a 2-hour meet and see how that goes. I will admit I'm a little nervous, but I don't think that'll last long, because just meeting you guys, I'm very thrilled. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to announce the 10 people that I picked randomly with the YouTube random picker thinger, and I will put those down below in the drop down box, those winners, and they are Angela Saunders 9424, Char J 57, Kathy Decker 889, Nan Hendrickson 5012, Sherry Rudder 6035, Susan ZY2IN, Julie in Stitches 16, Patricia Ward 9362, Lori Smith 874, and my friend Regina Danner 3536. So all of those names will be down below with the Google form and the date and the time that I would like to do this. So this is our first one. I know it's going to be fun. I can expect some hiccups. You want to make sure that you have a good internet connection, and we'll go from there. And I'm going to get to start meeting you. So what I will do is, if you will also in this video put Zoom, if you want to Zoom, put Zoom in your comment. I will continually, at least for the next couple of times, pick 10 names and then announce them on the next video, and we will try to, and we'll get together. So I'm excited, and we'll see how it goes. All right, so I've done that. I'm really watching my notes here closely. All right. The other thing I wanted to do, this is just a little family thing, but we're all creative people here. The last, For the Love of Stitches, which is the group that meets in Sacramento, I often go with my oldest daughter, Diane, and the group has been very welcoming. She doesn't really cross-stitch, but she usually brings something to do. Well, the last one we went to, we brought Mira, my 11-year-old granddaughter, and Mira did a dotting. I'm sure there's a name for it, but Diane got all the supplies for her, and they sat together, and it's this paint dotting. And as soon as you see what she did, you'll recognize it. A lot of people do it on rocks, etc. And this was Mira's first time to do it. And she just sent me a picture of the finished piece, which I will show here while I'm talking. And I was very proud of her. I was so touched by the kindness of the group. They would go over and see what she was doing, and she felt very welcome. I think she wouldn't mind coming again. So I just wanted to share that because I'm very proud of her and her creative abilities. So so that was Mira's first dotting thing. Okay, I'm sure it has a better name. All right, so I did that. I've got 3 new YouTubers that FlossTubers that I want to shout out. And you know, here's the other thing. Let's be brutally honest. I watch these, and I watch them from beginning to end, and that is the truth. But I don't always remember what each one, what their specialty was, often where they're from. I don't remember those details after I write it down that I want to shout them out. So if I'm not saying very much, it's not because I didn't enjoy them, because if I didn't enjoy them, I wouldn't shout them out for you guys. So I have 3 that these are new FlossTubers, and so I'm going to give you their names. And the first one is Jenny, and her FlossTube is Jenny Crafts and Reads. And she had, I did make a note that she has some beautiful pieces. She had some modern folk embroidery. And I thought she handled herself well on the screen, very pleasant. And so that is Jenny of Jenny Crafts and Reads. The second one was Lisa Ann, and she is the Pierced Pineapple Studio. And she's a quilter as well. And I think she does maybe some long arm stuff. Primarily works with more modern quilts, but she'll do, you know, she'll finish any of them. And she lives in South Carolina. So that's Lisa Ann, Pierced Pineapple Studio. And the third one was Emily, and she was Stitching Mama Emily. And I think she has 1 to 2 videos out, and she was very cute, has some wonderful projects. So for the 3 of them, I hope you will go over and give them that warm FlossTube welcome, and subscribe to their channels, and just let them know that we appreciate the hard work that they're doing. Next, I want to mention the FlossTube library, which things like this really blow my mind. And this was set up by Allie, and on Instagram, she's at read.panda.homebody. She is a librarian, and she is curating FlossTubes in such a way that you could go there if you wanted to get a tutorial, to know which FlossTubers do tutorials, which ones are designers. It's all broken up. And so the FlossTube library, there is a connection on Instagram, and that is at FlossTube Library. And that will give you a link to go to the site where she is curating these and breaking them down. And I just personally wanted to give Allie a big thank you, because this is giving in a very rich way to our community. And I know it must take a lot of time and a lot of organization. And I want Allie to know, as I'm sure most of us do, that I appreciate the work that she is doing. Okay, so I've got that. Now, 2 things that, and then I promise we'll go right into stitching. Lisa of Lost in Stitches is back. We got to see her at Stitch Across the Pond last weekend. She has made a post on Instagram. Lisa has been taking care of herself, which is very important in her treatment for breast cancer. But oh my goodness, was it wonderful to see that beautiful face. And I think she's planning on doing a FlossTube when she's ready. Because the most important thing is for her to feel well and healthy, and before she starts giving back so much to us. So Lisa, I'm so happy to see you, and I love you bunches. The next thing is Sarah, the redneck bifocal stitcher, which I did shout out in an earlier video. was dealing with some issues of a diagnosis of cancer. And she got some good news, and I'll let you go to her FlossTube to find that out. But I'm going to stick my nose in just a moment. I'm just going to make a couple of statements, and then I will drop it. But you, as a patient, have a right to ask questions of your doctor about your health. And you have a right to get answers to those questions that are important to you about your health. And I'm going to leave it at that. Just let that sink in. But it is not being in the way. It is not, it's your right. You are going to someone to take care of you, and you have the right to ask questions. So please exert that privilege and that right that you have. And if you can't really get answers to the questions that are important to you about your health, then I say switch doctors. I am well aware, living in a rural area, that just throwing that out there, switch doctors, is not always very easy to do. But just know it is your right. So I'm leaving it at that. But I want to say again, I have so much happiness and joy for Lisa and Sarah, and I know that you all will be there for both of them. Okay, so that, I think, gets the business that I didn't want to forget out of the way. I'm going to take a drink. Still kind of warm here, but I have 2 finishes. I have 2 starts. I have fully finished something that I want to share with you, and then we'll go into the whips, and I have some happy mail, and we'll jump right into it. Okay, so I realized when I filmed that last video, I kept saying I'll talk about it in plans, and as usual, just closed out the video, never talked about plans. But my plans, and they still are to try to do as much Christmas stitching in July as I can, which tends to be a little hard for me because to really get some accomplishments on that, I kind of have to let go of my samplers. But I do like to do the Christmas stitching, and I like to have the stuff at Christmas. So I had a finish, and this one is Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. This was in Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher. It was in the Christmas Winters of 2023, so the last Christmas one. It is by Teresa Vanette, Shakespeare's Peddler. It was one of the ones that was on the cover. I saw it, and I pretty much started it as soon as I saw it. So it is stitched, I can tell you what it's stitched on. It's stitched on a 36 count color and cotton in pewter. I use most of the called for overdyed flosses or substituted DMC, but most of it is as Teresa charted it. And I am definitely going to make a pillow of this. It had some just some lines of white underneath for snow, and I did decide to omit those. I rarely omit things, but it was just a lot of white, and I think if I Chanel it up with some white or something, that'll be just fine. So that is Merry Little Christmas by Shakespeare's Peddler, and it is from Punch Needle Primitive Stitcher Winter Christmas edition for 2023. So I'm very happy about that. So that was one finish. Okay. My next finish, also a Christmas piece, is Christmas Rose by Blackbird Design. Oh, I'm so happy. I don't have the everything to know. I know that this is a Picture This Plus fabric, The initials are in four-corner stitch, and it's Eva Rose Grimes. So I did it for my mother, and I put the year 1922 at the bottom that she was born. So so that's done, and I'm going to frame it. And I think you know, by the time I get to it, I'm going to be pretty darn good at framing and lacing, I hope. So that is Christmas Rose by Blackbird Designs. And then my fully finish is, I'm so happy about this. I made a project bag with Chester's sampler. Now, you guys know that I'm not really buying fabric, so it's pretty funky. I have two kinds of fabric on the inside for a lining, but you know what? It's got Chester on the outside, and I put Pet All the Dogs in here, and I don't know if you can see that, but it's Chester's dog tag. So that's the zipper pull, and I didn't stitch on Pet All the Dogs, but that's what I'm going to put in it. So that is my finished project bag. And again, I must give thank yous to Elizabeth of Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. I have probably single-handedly watched her video thousands of times, I feel like, but I just don't completely trust myself yet to do it without her direction. So that was Chester's Place, and that is to honor, for those of you who are new, Chester was my dog, Stan and I's dog, for 13 years, and we lost him in August of 2023, and we now have Annie, and you will always see pictures of Annie now at the end of my video. So, okay, so that, all right, now we'll go to new starts. And my first new start, because as I told you guys, I want to always have a 1/1 piece going on a 25 count, 28 count. I might even try a 32 count. Who knows? And I did start a token for my friend by Heartstrings Samplery. This was gifted to me, and I am stitching it on a 25 count Lugana that I don't have, I don't know what the name is, and this is what I have done so far. And I will be honest, those aren't supposed to be green, they were supposed to be white. But by the time I noticed it, I had done the whole row, and they're staying green. So I think it'll work out. I don't know if you can see it in this picture, but I actually think the green will show up more. And you know, there's green down here. And I think it'll be okay. So that is my new start. And this is Sewn in Friendship by Heartstrings Samplery. So will often be, as we now call it, my happy hour stitch from 5 to 7. Okay, my next new start, going along with Christmas in July, was to start another Prairie School Santa, and I am doing this one, Candy Cane Santa, and this is book number 215, A Merry Mini Christmas. And I have been putting these on 36 count Murky by Picture This Plus, and this is my start. I keep all my Prairie Schoolers in one bag. I have a master set of floss. I haven't changed any of the colors that are called for. So so that's my start. This one isn't, these are smaller than the yearly Santas, but this is the one that I started. So that is Candy Cane Santa from a Merry Mini surprise, a merry mini surprise by Prairie Schooler. So I will keep working on that. And I think we're ready to go into WIP. So, okay. I'm going to pull my chair up a little close and we'll get started. So the first one, because Saturday was the 13th was a dark 13 for me. And so I did do some work on Away We Ride by Blackbird Design. And so this is what I have now. So I got, let's see what I did. Someone did mention, and I did try to put that, I did put a few X's right there. Thank you for whoever that was, because I do like it better. I think I did the moon. I did some of these little doodads. I started this medallion over here. I got the other side of the roof in. I did some border work up in here, and I think I put in dark. So that is, and this is on 36 count in Dora by Needle and Flax, and I'm using the called for overdyed floss. So it's coming along. I'm starting to realize that I'm really leaving a lot of that border. I need to dedicate some time to do just that. So that is Away We Ride by Blackbird Designs. My next piece is it's Oh Joyous Day, which is going to be my focus piece. It has had 2 days so far this month. So as a focus piece, I will give this 7 days a month until it is finished. I am doing this on a 36 count flannel flower by Fox and Rabbit, and I'm using the called for overdyed floss. And there is a sale, hashtag Joyous Sal, and I know Brijin, the museum stitcher, and Katie, the novel stitcher, were taking part in that, as were a lot of you. Katie, I haven't watched her most recent video. She may have a finish now, but she was really wanting to get her Oh Joyous Day done, as do I. So this is my progress so far, and I'm going to apologize because I know there are a lot of hanging threads because I finished this border all the way across. I started this line across. I got some stuff in the house, but I started this alphabet, and because those threads may be used again, I just leave them there and pull from them when I need them. So the house is getting close. I plan to put my 3 daughters' initials by Joyous Day, the day they were born. So that is Oh Joyous Day by Blackbird Designs, my 7-day focus piece. Okay. All right, and next we've got, I started not to show this, but I'm getting stuff done on it, and it's Vince's stocking, and it is Woodland Storytime by Cooler Designs. I'm stitching it on a 14 count antique Ada with the call for DMC, and I'm working primarily in this area, so I've started working into some of his suit. You'll see some red. I got a lot of this rabbit done. I did back stitch on the deer, the reindeer, and this is where I am so far. So you can see the little baby bear and the rabbit, and I'm starting Santa's cap. A lot of that 794, a lot of that blue to stitch. So that's where I am on Vince's stocking. I'm probably going to have to to start working on this more than just Sundays. At least according to Markup XP, I think, to get it done by his Christmas and to get it sewn up by his Christmas. So, okay, this is for that. The next piece is Pandemic. I wanted to share that again today, and that is this, Pandemic by Long Dog Sampler. I'm stitching this on a 32 count platinum with the 310, DMC 310, and I'm stitching it 1 over 2 threads. And because I worked on it this morning and I'm going to work on it when I get through, I left a thread so I would know exactly where, so this is just really hard to show all of this the way my setup is. But I am working, and we will fold it and get that. I am working in this area down in here. So we got the owl and birds and doobie jiggers. It's a great stitch, and I really love it. So that is Pandemic by Long Dog Sampler, and I will pick that up to watch when I finish here. Okay, next piece is Christmas, and that is Christmas Delivery by Cottage Garden Samplings. Angie, the Tiny House Stitcher, has almost got a finish on this. She showed it on Stitch Across the Pond last week. And hers is exquisite in person because she's done a lot of different parts of this in the etoile. I think the snowflakes and the curlicues on the sled. So I'm stitching this on a 36 count Eucalyptus by Fox and Rabbit, and I'm using the called for DMC. So oh my goodness, that's really bad, even for me. So what I've been doing is I've been working primarily on the sled. So I got some work on the Christmas tree that's coming up right here. I got this deer. I got a lot of this filigree in, and I'm trying to get this to a place of some fill in on the sled. But I still have a lot to do. I'm not optimistic about this Christmas, but I do love it. So that's Christmas Delivery by Cottage Garden Samplings. I will keep plugging away. The next one is my 2 threads a day, and that is Summer at Cherry Hill, and that is by Brenda Gervais. And again, this one is another one that is very deceiving about, I haven't even gotten to this. I haven't gotten to this. I have now started on the flowers, and I'm getting the border almost all the way around. There's a lot of stitching in this. So this is, and I'm stitching it on it is on a 36 count Stars Hollow Blend by R&R, and it is the called for overdyed floss. So this is, so where I have worked is, you can see, and I made sure that I was on the same edge with that bottom border by putting in a basting stitch. I completed this bird. I got this flower started. I know I stitched these 2 things, and then I brought this alphabet all the way down and turned the corner. So that's where I am on Summer at Cherry Hill. I love it. Okay, it is in a beautiful bag that was made by Lorraine. It was a gift gifted to me with a handle. Very summery bag for a very summery project. Okay. My next one is was my birthday start, and that is Florence Mary Dickinson by Hands Across the Sea. This was for 2 birthday girls, and with Judy, the Stitching Bunny, and we have now had a couple of stitch togethers on Zoom where we work on this and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. I got to meet her husband, Rob, and he is just a delight. So I am stitching this on a gifted piece of 40 count cream brulee by Tabby Cat. Sandra gave me that. My husband bought me the Vicki Clayton silks. This is 40 count, and I have the border, or the spine of the border, all the way around. So that was the biggest thing that I worked on. I think I finished this bird, this flower, and I think that's what I've done so far. So still a bit to go, but I will enjoy it. So that is Florence Mary Dickinson by Hands Across the Sea. I'm just looking here. Is that, yeah, that border, the border is just weird. I was noticing that this is different from all the other, wait, that this part right here is different from all the other corners, but that is the way it's charted. And there are a lot of people that have joined us, and I'm loving watching all the progress. It is such a gorgeous sampler. My last piece is Angel Armel, 1907. This is by Ellen Maximum Cross Stitch. And it is, I've been working on this on Thursdays since I finished Mary 395. I am stitching this on 36 count Heartland by Picture This Plus, and I'm using the Gloriana Hollyberry. And so I did get the A in. I've started this B. I finished all of the doodads on this side. I just need to do the border. So there's a lot of counting and being careful with these ornate letters, but I enjoy it very much. It's just sort of a slow down. Just slow down and enjoy what you're doing carefully. So that is Angel Armel by Maximum Cross Stitch. I put it in my story on Instagram today. Jacob has released the 2025 Stitch Along. That man is brilliant. He's just a creative genius. And I'm sure a lot of people will be doing that. I might. Sometimes I get a little reluctant with the big pieces, but like I say, I'm finishing things, and if I want to start it, I will. But so those are my whips. Again, kind of low, but I did do some sewing, and like I said, I'm concentrating on the Christmas. And let's see. So where are we going to go from here? Oh, Happy Mail. Actually, and I just want to show how incredible it is to encourage you all to get ready for the August Cross Stitch Camp 2024 by Sherry. I got picked for my finish of Souvenir de France for June. And I would like to share with you the goodies that I got. So I got a little Ort basket that will fold up and travel, but then it will sit flat. See? very cute. And then you see it goes just like that. I got from Elizabeth Designs, I got for a dear friend, which would be a lovely little small little pillow. I got Big Chicken, Little Chicken Pin Keep by Stacy Nash. Oh, and I really am excited about this because it's one of these boxy things. And I haven't tried that yet. And I want to. And I want to try to make a biscornu as well. Those are kind of things that are starting to pile up on my list of things that I do want to do. But I love this finish. I got Velvet Carrot Needle Book, also by Stacy Nash. How cute! I got, this has little charms by Roveris. I don't see a name. It's called Believe. So it's a Christmas piece. Oh, I see what they've done here. They've put these bells down here on the finish. There we go. So that looks like fun. I got from Carolyn's Needle Arts, April Showers. I see the umbrellas. It makes me think of Sarah, Somi Sarah. She loves umbrellas. I got Autumn Smalls by Twin Peak Primitives. Look at those. Oh, those are so cute. I got, this is, I guess it's called, let me see, Shaker Seeds. It is Cedar Hill Shaker. You can see that there's two colors. How much that changes that up. So that is very cute. From Stacy Nash, there's the Merry Halloween Pin Keeps. Oh my gosh, look at these. And all of that was inside this project bag. And this part, let me take this out, I had it all ready. This project bag is Cozy Ode Quilts. It's Becky Stevens. And there's the card. And it is gorgeous. Look at the red birds, at the wreaths on the back. The checked fabric, the beautiful green zipper. And I need something for Christmas. So I am beside myself, and your work is beautiful, Becky. Thank you. And thank you, Sherry of Colorado Cross Stitcher. You are a true asset to our community. You do so much, you teach us so much, and I just, sorry, I just want you to know again how much that I appreciate that. And then, okay. I got a birthday present. This was the birthday card. And I know this is handmade because I have made cards for many years. I don't know that I handmade cards that were this exquisitely beautiful. But this is all, you know, the birds raised, it is just, it's gorgeous. And this is from Debbie. I met Debbie at the retreat to the attic in February of 2022. And as I told her, she was the first person. I got in kind of late, like at 8:30 or something, and I was going up to put my stuff in my room, and I saw her and I recognized her. And so she was the first smiling face of a weekend of smiling faces. Okay, and she made this So are you ready? Everybody be sitting down. It's a dress form. It is all hand done. She has a necklace. She's got an apron with this, you know, I think this was fancy cut out of this material. Her ties on her ribbon are beautiful. There's little pockets here. And I named it Anna after my grandmother. And so Anna sits with me while I stitch. And I think Granny would be so happy I'm sitting and stitching and not getting into trouble. I spent my 20th year with my grandmother for 3 months. I loved her so much. So, Debbie, thank you. Thank you from absolutely the bottom of my heart for this. I would like to say new words. I would like to, I just am so grateful for all of you and the kindness that you bestow. I'm just, I'm very grateful, and I feel very glad to be a part of this wonderful community. So that was my happy mail. I didn't purchase anything this time. As you guys know, I did kind of go big with the Blackbird last time. So I have nothing there to report. So, oh my goodness, you know what I haven't done? I haven't done the shares. Oh, well, we're gonna do them right here at the end. So there we go. I don't know whether, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna, we will end here, and what I will do is I will record the shares and I will put them in more at the beginning, so that if there are some of you that didn't want to stay for the whole thing, I'll just make a little separate video and I'll insert it. It'll be a surprise where it comes in, but I will put it there. Let me see where would be a good place. Well, let's don't worry about that. You will just find it. It will just appear at some point in the video, but towards the beginning. So I have several shares. I could not forget those. My first one is, oh, I was going to do that as a separate video. Do you guys see how this works? It's slow. So if you are new and I haven't scared you to death, I hope you will subscribe and like and share and ring the bell and do all the things that we do on FlossTube. Again, for all of you out there that have been with me for a long time, for those of you that are relatively new, just plain for all of you, thank you so much. And let's remember kindness. We need to keep kindness and love in the forefront. In the forefront. We need to give prayers, thoughts, good vibes for those of us and those in the world that need it. Because as I always say, we are a power to be reckoned with. All the love that there is, and kindness and generosity of spirit in this community. So I think that I have covered everything on the table except for the video I'm going to make and insert. So I'm going to ask you to grab your stitching, get comfortable, and stitch what you love. I love each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart. Bye-bye. Until next time.
Vince, can you get any sandier, you think? Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah!
Happy boy, huh?
Wow!
You a happy boy?
Not in our mouth. Yeah.
That's a lot of sand in the mouth.